Oh, it took a difference in the whole game. I mean, you know, it was a. You got to give him credit, but you know we got him. We had a pretty good night throwing high fastballs by, and he just kept fouling them off until we finally got something off speed on the plate. So, tremendous at bat.
Fernandez looked the first 2 innings like you guys could get to him. What did you see him do differently after that second?
Well, he's just real good, Steve. He's real good. He's got great stuff. You know, it's like all the good pitchers, and you guys have all heard this statement: if you don't get them early, sometimes you don't get them. You know, they start to get into a groove, and he started to get his breaking ball working. You know, and he's got great stuff. So, like, you know, that's what we said on the bench when we had our opportunity the first 2 innings. You know, we got him deep in the pitch counts. We had opportunities to score some runs, and when you don't, you're saying this may not turn out good because you got to get those guys when you can.
Terry, I know you don't attach too much to one game, but you had Syndergaard out there tonight. You accounting probably on a big boost having him. Is it a little extra deflating not being able to get out of here with it?
Well, yeah, especially as well as he pitched, Dave. My gosh almighty, guys. I mean, he was tremendous tonight. You know, we knew we were going to be able to get him to, 105 or so. And he did exactly what you want. He got us to the 8th inning. We just, couldn't put anything on the board to get him to work with. But he was outstanding.
Terry, you said when you face lefty starters, Conforto's probably not going to play. Did you think about pinch hitting for him there in the 6th with a righty?
No. Only because I thought the matchup with Breslow was a good one for him. He's not a real power guy. You saw him. I mean, smoked it, hit the ball hard, just hit it right at the second baseman. So I had no problem hitting him there.
Terry, you just mentioned you couldn't put anything on the board. It's only Game 7, but when do you start getting concerned about the at-bats?
Well, I'm concerned about them. I mean, we've got to start. As I said, the one thing we would like to try to do is to start to get into some type of a rhythm, in which we are a little bit, with the batting practices and stuff, even though we don't hit tomorrow. But, again, you look at the quality of bats. When you've got Jose Fernandez at, 100, basically almost 100 pitches in 5 innings, you got to be pretty happy with that. We're just not able to get a big hit when we need one with guys on base. So, but we're getting deep in the counts. We're making pitchers work. We just aren't getting any hits.
On that in that vein, the ball that Cespedes hit to the wall. I mean, on a normal night, that's probably a few rows in. Is that just the conditions were that way, or does?
Yeah, I mean that's part of playing here. I mean, when the wind's blowing in like it was tonight from left field, you just got to realize it, and I thought it was a homer. A lot of people did, but it's just one of those things about playing in the springtime here, especially when the wind's blowing off the water. It just doesn't go. There's no carry.
Terry, who's the last pitcher? Remind you what Syndergaard is doing to make a transformation in such a quick time. I mean, a year ago, he's
I can't name
AAA.
Well, Kevin, it's a hard question because I've never had anybody through that hard. I mean, I've had a couple pitchers in the past where, they got an opportunity and they made, Shane Reynolds, when he first came to the big leagues, was he was the 12th pitcher on the staff and came up with a split finger and ended up being one of the best pitchers in the National League. But nobody with that kind of stuff to where, got the confidence and the command of his pitches like this kid did all of a sudden. I mean, when he first came up, he had the good arm, but he was behind in the counts a lot. He walked guys, and even though he had some strikeouts, but the command of the slider, the command of the changeup, I mean, he picked it up fast. And I told you last year, this kid, he worked hard at his trade. He listened, he talked, he asked questions. He wanted to figure out how to pitch guys to his advantage, and he's been able to do that.
Terry, you obviously didn't need to use Verrett tonight. Will you still activate Montero possibly, or is that?
There's a good chance we'll activate Montero. We're talking. Even though Robles will say he's okay, he threw 50 pitches. You really probably should have a couple days. Starter, we had to get him up again tonight. He would have probably been the next guy. So we probably need to protect ourselves. So we'll probably have to activate him. Yes.
Would that definitely be the paternity then, as opposed to a DL stint for DeGrom?
I don't believe it'll be a paternity thing. No.
So is DeGrom going on the DL then?
No.
Okay, so you send someone down.
Probably, yeah.
Terry, back to Noah for 1 second. In terms of his growth and development, how unique is it what you've seen in terms of his ability to master new pitches right away? It seems like he didn't really have that two-seamer until he came up here last year, learned it from Dan, and now this slider seems like an out-of-nowhere weapon for him as well.
Well, he works at it, and when Dan's very, very good, but when he changed his grip on a couple pitches, like the two-seamer, like the slider, got him a little bit better grip, got him a little bit better, and all of a sudden the command was there of it. But I mean, it's not just the learning of the pitches, Steve. It's the application of them. It's that today he takes them in the side, he learns a different grip on the slider, and 2 days later takes it into the game with him with no fear. I mean, that just shows you what kind of a mindset this guy's got. Hey, look, I've got this new toy. I like it, and I'm going to use it. And when he learned the two-seamer, he took it into the game, and God all of a sudden was getting outs early in counts. And so instead of getting to the 100 pitches in 5 innings, he was getting some easy outs. And, of course, tonight his stuff was electric, and he struck some guys out early. But you saw it. I mean, he still struck them out early. I mean, it wasn't like 7 or 8 pitch at bats. It was 4 pitch at bats. He was getting out. So he's really amazing.
A couple of things, Terry. Is it the way things are going for you guys? I mean, you had the shift on Dietrich, and he punched the ball by right to tie the game. I mean, that's just the way things going right now?
Yeah. I mean, they got – I said before the series, they got a good club. They do a lot of things well. They're very athletic. Once in a while, and Bohr is the same way. One of the things Bohr did, early in the game is he – hit a ball against the shift. He tried to go the other way and got a base hit. So we kind of hope that when things start going well, we're going to get those same breaks. So, but it's part of the game. That's what makes it a great game. There's no guarantees for anything.
And then we couldn't help not noting that Duda made a great throw to the plate on that ball that Ichiro beat out, and that kept a run off the board for you too.
It did. I mean, Lucas Duda is a good first baseman. He can really throw. You know what? We can't keep going back to everybody makes an error now and then, but he's a good first baseman. He was alert. He knew the guy was going on the play. The replay showed we had the runner out anyway at first base, but he was ready for. He didn't take anything for granted and made the play at the plate.
I know it's only 7 games, but you go on a 9-game road trip after tomorrow. At what point does this become more than just, a bit of a slow start and something that's bigger than that?
Well, Dan, I can't answer that until after the 9-game road trip. We certainly, by no means, I mean, we certainly think we've got a good enough club to run off a string of wins no matter where we play. So we'll just, we'll worry about at the end of the 9-game road trip to see where we are. We got a game tomorrow. We got to worry about that game. You win tomorrow and you go on the road on a positive note and maybe put some wins together. But I'm not sitting here today down in the dumps thinking that the season's a waste when we've got a stinking marathon yet. So we'll see how it goes tomorrow and then we'll go play it on the road.